Hey guys, how's it going? Today's video is a quick little tip and also a bit of kind of sad news, I guess. Now the sad news is that I have become really unmotivated to continue leveling up my Asura. Now this isn't due to anything like the videos aren't doing well, because the video is actually doing quite well on the channel as opposed to some of my other videos. The only problem is I now have found a really efficient way of leveling alts, and I'm showing you this way right now in the video. So that is mainly a reason to why I can't bring myself just to do boring heart quests for the 15th time. Not to say that the hearts aren't good. The hearts and the dynamic events are a brilliant leveling system. Your first or maybe second time through, but I've done it maybe 3 or 4 times now, most of the hearts up to level 60 at least, and it's just really bad. Like, I just can't bring myself to sit there and to grind it out any longer. So as you see in the footage right now, we're running Sorrow's Embrace. Now you may be thinking, well, this is weird because he's obviously doing a dungeon. Why is he talking about leveling characters? So what in essence this update is, or this leveling kind of guard slash technique is you run a dungeon on your level 80 character, you get right through the dungeon, and then as you finish the dungeon on the last boss, when the boss is almost dead, you basically quickly log out and character change and log on to a low character. You have to do this before the chests get sent to your character, so you have to log out before your warrior gets them or your main gets them, and onto your second character, and in the dungeon I believe, before those chests come out. So logging off about the boss's 20% health mark would be a fantastic time to log off. As you see, that's pretty much the rule that I stand by while doing this. Also, another thing you should take into note is you should always tell your group that you're doing this, because if you just log out at the last boss, they may get annoyed at you and just kick you out of the group, and you will basically have run all that dungeon for nothing. Also, they might not want you to, because obviously in essence at 20% they've got to 4-man the boss. Now more times than not, the group will be able to 4-man the boss down from 20%. However, you may get the random group that managed to die in the boss's like 10% range, which is kind of a pain, because then when you log back on you kind of feel bad for leaving, because you think that if you didn't leave you would have obviously helped and they wouldn't be in the situation that they're in. But usually the groups are fine with you logging off and changing characters, as long as you participate and do well throughout the dungeon, then it's usually not a problem. So yeah, you have to be logged off and logged in. So another thing to note would be you cannot open the dungeon. If you open the dungeon, so if you walk into the portal and you start the instance, so you basically press the explorable mode, so the instance is on you, then you can't do this technique, because what happens is as soon as you log out, the full party get kicked from the dungeon. So if you plan on doing this, definitely join somebody else's group that are going to open, and don't ever open the dungeon. Let other people do it. Try not to be like horrible about it, but just kind of wait and see if anybody says anything. More times than not with the mega servers now, there's no problems with people getting in, and usually they will open it with no problem. But sometimes obviously you get in the groups of Citadel of Flame where nobody has the story mode complete. Now I don't have the story mode complete for Citadel of Flame, and this is just purely because I had another warrior that I had the story modes, all of the story modes complete on, I believe anyway, apart from maybe TA, but most of the story modes on, but I didn't bother to go back and do the story modes on my new warrior, my level 80 human. So everything was on my non-warrior before I deleted him. So as you'll see, this is a fantastic amount of XP per hour. Basically, I believe you could probably get to level 80 with less than 5 hours played on a character, if you do this correctly. Probably less than 2 actually, as long as you don't run around and don't mess about. Another thing is you have to be in the zone of the dungeon to zone in on your low level character. You can't just zone in from lines arch, you have to be in the zone with the dungeon. With most dungeons this is quite easy. The only problem you may have is with getting to Citadel of Flame, getting to Fireheart Raz could be quite a problem. I died a few times trying to get up there, but then on another character I just basically ran straight through the paths, just followed the paths and you make it. So as you saw there, I gained a massive amount of experience from path 1 and I gained another massive amount from path 2. Now the reason this is so efficient is that me personally, I have to run these dungeons every day anyway, so why not get the XP? I mean, sure I'm losing out on maybe a bit of boss loot, but why not work a little bit and log out and get that XP for another character to level 80? It saves a lot of time and it's just, it's a lot more fun and it kind of makes the dungeoning more rewarding as well, because sometimes obviously doing dungeons can get a little bit stale. So that's all I've got for today guys, so until next time, bye bye.